half kneeling pronation drill. We're gonna utilize the mini bands here, or you can use foot wedges if you have those available. Sometimes starting in a half kneeling position can be really helpful if you feel unstable in standing, or you tend to, scrunch in through your toes and push pressure forward. We're just kind of getting you off your feet. Also, something that you want to keep in mind when you're in the half kneeling position is placing a foam pad under the non-working knee, just so you have a little bit more level to your hips and you're not dropping and hiking one side, and you can actually be on one side. So I'm going to take the mini bands and I'm going to place one on the inside edge, the start of the arch, so right where that arch is kind of about to start. And this is just for some feedback for foot pressure, so it doesn't need to be crazy here. And then I'm going to place one mini band on the outside edge of the heel, so that's just that lateral outside heel. And then I'm going to place one mini band underneath that big toe mound. You may or may not need that, but for me, I tend to lose that big toe mound, so I like using a mini band there. So I have big toe mound, start of the heel, and the outside edge of the heel. Once again, don't necessarily need the big toe mound because we're really focusing on the inside and outside edge of the heel primarily, but it can be really helpful. So when I'm in this half kneeling position, when I come backwards with my shin, I'm in more of that negative shin angle. So my knee is behind my ankle. And that's kind of when we're thinking about that tibia kind of almost in that more externally rotated position. We're in our supination. We're finding the outside lateral edge of the heel. So when I'm in that negative shin angle, I'm going to sense and feel that lateral heel. And then as I come forward, I want to think about finding the inside edge of the heel and kind of that big toe mound. Big focus here on that inside edge of the heel. As I come back out nice and slow, I'm going to find that outside edge of the heel. And then as I come forward, I can think about finding the inside edge of the heel. As you come forward and back, just watch that you're not dumping forward at the pelvis or arching through or overly tucking. Just want to make sure the low back doesn't agitate, and I'm kind of going forward. So I'm really focusing on coming out. You can even add kind of that tibia motion, so thinking about kind of coming external rotation, kind of turning and rotating in. So I'm going to face you and show what that looks like just from a front view. So as I come back, I'm going to think about kind of rotating this tibia out, finding that outside edge of the heel. As I come forward, I'm thinking about that tibia, everything kind of turning in. You might even just see as you do this with the tibia and moving that around, that your foot kind of almost moves along with it. So back, outside edge, forward, inside edge of the heel. And I'm making sure that not everything is just going straight to my toes and I'm scrunching, but I'm sensing that foot pressure shift from the outside edge to the inside edge of the heel as I come forward. And I can think about kind of turning, finding that leg bone and getting that internal rotation, feeling that pressure inside edge of the heel and the big toe mound, come out, outside edge. And so your mini bands can be helpful for just sensing and feeling that pressure shift as we go forward and back. So once again, lateral heel, start of the arch, and the big toe mound. And as I come back, and then forward. So I'm just finding that pressure shift in that half kneeling position. And then when you stand up, after you do this for, about maybe 10 to 15, you're just gonna feel like a little bit more connected to the ground, and it can be a really interesting sensation to experience in your body. So this is that half kneeling pronation drill. I also demonstrated a little bit of that internal rotation at the tibia, so thinking about kind of allowing that kind of rotation in as the pressure finds that medial heel inside edge, and then outside edge, inside edge, outside edge as you find that negative shin angle.